Today we're going to talk about world problems. Like, people in the world, all around the world nowadays face different problems. So it can actually from maybe poverty or I don't know, government, politics, so everything, environment. Now, I want to ask you, what kind of problems do people face at work? So first, I want to ask about work, and then, of course, we'll move on to another topic that is worried. What kind of problems do you think people face at work?
Yeah, for me, in Vietnam, we used to face to the problems such as the policies, government policies, and the in the company that the human resources is the most uh, problem. If they occur, it can make the the work cannot go uh, fluently. Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
about the human. I think so.
Yeah, of course. So nowadays, so which one is can be the most important one? So in the world, of course, so work is your workplace is actually small society and you face different problems. I don't know, micromanaging, different problems that people, employees, employers who face every day. Now we have actually a bigger word now. So in the word, we have, as you said, people's governments. Okay. So I want to ask you, which one is the most important one you think? Like environment, and you know that we have global warming and of course climate change. And the next one we have war in the world. And of course, we have politics, tariffs. So tell me which one is the most important problem that world actually is facing nowadays?
I think that's the taxes between American and other country. Yeah, Mr. Trump has give the
Of course I
policy
do.
tax. So many countries, including Vietnam, are facing some problem, and um, every business is
Yeah,
touched. Uh, yeah,
of course. Not only, let me say, not only other countries, but also our country. So the US people, yeah,
uh,
have problems, of course. So raising prices. So that is the first problem that nowadays people face. And we're dealing with something really new that, yes, it's not really good, but I'm actually hopeful. I'm optimistic. So it will be okay. I think it can't continue this way. I hope, of course.
so yeah,
Yeah, and because of this, a lot of people, as you know, take to the street and I don't know, just because against these policies, because they are not happy. They're not happy and satisfied with the situation. I want to give you a word. Just let me
yeah,
share the word. One moment. Okay. Because, okay. Well, when we talk about maybe especially so tariffs, problems, okay, we have a word that is protest. So protest. So people protest against something. But I want to give you another phrase that we normally use. Take to the street. People take to the street to, it means protest in public. So take to the street. That is protest public against something. Okay, so that is the first phrase that I want to teach you. And why? Because they're not happy, they're not satisfied. So let me ask you, uh, have you ever, so in your country, have people ever protest against something?
Yeah, I read this in the newspaper that some, uh, yeah, many people they take to the street to against some policies. But as me as myself, I've never done it before.
Yeah, of course. So you've read about it, but you've never
Yeah.
participated. Yeah,
You
got it.
not take to the street mean demonstration.
Demonstration? Take to the street means protest in public.
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
course.
I see.
Of course. Yeah. And the next question that I wanna ask you, what do you think is the biggest global issue today?
Uh, Biggest problem today.
What is the biggest global issue today?
I think that is the warming, uh, the warming, global warming. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, very good. Well, so global warming. And do you think people care about the word problems?
Um, because any individual, um, uh, everybody seem to be so small to the global problem. So they just care, but they can't do by themselves. Yeah.
I didn't get you mean what you mean they can do by themselves. So I didn't get this one.
That means they did care about the
They
global
do.
problems, but
Yeah.
in individual, that means in person they can solve the problem, so
Yeah, of course
they
they
can
can't. Of
have
course. Yeah,
to
of course.
connect together to solve the problems.
Yeah, of course, got it. So it's like, yeah, as you said, I do agree with you. Actually, global warming. So yes, can be one of the most important. Okay, that is actually, but here it's really hard to choose. Actually, we toss up between climate change and inequality. So that is something that we can change. So of course, we know that climate change is really threatening the entire planet. And but we have another problems, maybe politics, maybe government. So I think it's a toss-up between different, maybe climate change and other problems. So what is the meaning of toss up? It means hard to choose. And how to use it? It's a toss up between this and that. What is that? It's difficult to choose. Yeah, really difficult to choose because we have a lot of problems in the world that is really difficult to choose. Okay, which one is more important? And let me ask you another question. Just before it, since you asked me about the word demonstration, just be careful when using when using noun and verb phrases or noun phrases. So because I know why you ask, because we can say they are closely related, but they're different, as I told you. Take to the street is the action, like a verb phrase that describe the action that people go out into public against something. Okay, so for example, people take to street to, I don't know, demand something, their rights. Now, demonstration is a noun. Okay, so they're totally different. And demonstration is gathering. that
Yeah.
action, okay? But it's like, let me say something. Demonstration can be negative or positive. Like people express their opinion, whether this is good, okay? For example, this can be a march or protest, so good or bad. Maybe people are happy because of this, they actually gather in the street, or no, people are not satisfied with something and they protest against something. So because of this, we can say that there is an overlap in usage, but they are not the same. Okay, so first, demonstration is noun. Second, it can be positive or negative, because sometimes people state their opinion about something. It can be negative against something, or no, in support of something. So this is the meaning of demonstration. Okay. Well, let's see what we have. Okay, let me share the word too. Okay, the first word of this session is corruption. Could you please read this sentence?
Yeah. Um, in Vietnam, we have many uh, um, a story about corruption. Yeah.
Corruption.
Yeah.
Of
They
course,
have to
it's
be
really.
go to try
Yeah.
to jail. Yeah.
Of course, that is illegal behavior that, yeah, we have all around the world, not only in your country. And I know that, yes. So it's like dishonesty, because, power is something, I don't know, was something really, can be really negative. So yeah, of course, they use, they're like this dishonesty, this, just so we can say that fraud is fraud, I think. Yeah, they actually, and the best synonym for it, if I want to paraphrase it, I say abuse of power. So it's like, you use your power and in, I don't know, some negative ways. So unfortunately we have, so corruption can be widespread at the local government level, even if it's controlled effectively at the central government level.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately. And recurring, the next word, recurring, like regularly, often regularly, like when something happens again and again. Okay. So my sister has a recurring nightmare. It means again and again, repeating. Okay. It's common. We use it in daily and professional context. We use it. So recurring is repeating.
Yeah.
Again and again, regularly. So, do you have something like, I don't know, have you ever experienced, I don't know, a recurring nightmare, or I don't know, something like something that you suffered from?
Mm. Yeah, cause every month I has a recurring uh, um, symptom that is the I'm going to my period.
Of course.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, unpleasant day.
Yeah. Of course, like, and sometime, yeah, for example, for a long time, I remember that I used to have recurring headache and
Yeah.
it didn't go away. It was really bad. It was really okay. Well, okay. Just, you said that I'm going to my period. You can use different actually phrases. I'm having, I'm on. Okay, so both of them. I'm having my period. Okay, this one is better. Well, and this one, fossil fuels. So you know that, natural fuels. And of course, we have another problem. So we know that unfortunately, in the future, maybe we will lack, and we need to find a way. So because of this, in actually many countries now, government and people tend to use just, sustainable energy, like, we can produce them again.
Yeah.
So tell me, do you have in your country, for example, do you use solar panels?
Yeah, of course. We use solid panel to have electricity. Yeah,
From the
and
sun, yeah, to
we also
generate
have,
electricity?
yeah,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, very good. Because you know that this fossil fuels, of course, is not only about fuels or energy. We know that we should try to reduce the use of fossil fuels to fight climate change.
yeah,
Unfortunately, another reason that why we actually have problem climate change is fossil fuel overuse in the world. So
yes,
unfortunately, so renewable, non-renewable. So you know that renewable, as you said, like for example, wind
yeah,
or
great,
sun. Okay, so they're but non-renewable fossil fuels that actually we can't generate, make them again.
yeah,
Well, greedy. Greedy, like wanting more than you need. Despite being of the most successful speakers, my uncle was greedy for more fame and fortune. So greed. So actually this is something like I think it's a kind of being selfish.
yeah.
And so what do you think about? Have you ever been greedy? Or have you ever for something? Or have you ever had greed for something? Oh no, you find it really negative.
Yeah, of course I have. You know, I usually feel uncomfortable when I I try to um, uh, try to manage my clothes basket. You know, I think that I am such a greedy woman that I love to buy new clothes even though I don't use them.
Yeah, really. So I think this is not like you are not shopaholic, are you?
Yeah, of course
You are
I.
really. So I think you are, because when you say it's not great, so actually you can say that I'm a bit of shopaholic. So you love buying new things, even though you don't need.
Yeah,
So, and you can say, let me say something. You say that sometimes I have a good verb that we normally use it. End up. For example, end up. You can say that I'm a bit of shopaholic and I tend to buy a lot of clothes. Okay, so it's good. But I don't end up wearing them. I don't end up wearing them. This is really good. Like, maybe finally I won't wear, just, I have in my wardrobe, but I so end up wearing them is really good one that you can, or a lot of them. So this one is good. Well, and yeah, so you are not greedy. Greedy is definitely negative. Of course, you can, for example, some people are greedy like for food, okay? So of course, but here, being shopaholic or workaholic or, the word holic is somehow different. Why different? Because when you are greedy, you even actually like we can say it's like a kind of being selfish, really selfish. Okay, so you ignore others people's right. in order to have more and more. For example, the greedy boss, I don't know, can take a huge bonus while cutting workers' salaries. So it means, yeah, this is really important. But you're shopaholic, a bit of shopaholic. Yeah, good. That's really good. Okay. Terrorism. Terrorism, maybe we hear a lot news. So violence, scare people. Why? For political reasons, for religious reasons, okay? And unfortunately, we hear a lot and a lot. So do you have this issue? Do you face this issue in your country?
Yeah, luckily in my country there's really rarely to happen.
Yeah. That is really good, actually. I think, you know, when it comes to people and people's right, society, so this can be, of course, we just, you know, I don't like, really don't like, so sometimes we don't want to watch news because, you know, we just hear some, I don't know, about maybe killing or, for example, violence, or I don't know, just, you know, threats to scare people. Why? Because of politics. So, uh, but nowadays, fortunately, governments all around the world are working together to fight it. So maybe one day we won't hear this word again. That's really negative, but unfortunately, another problem. And this one, poverty. So what do you think about it? Being really poor. So the state of being really poor. So tell me about what do you think first, if this is a problem that you face in your country or no, or what do you think about people who live in poverty, just in Africa and, you know, some other countries? So what do you think about it?
Yeah, in Vietnam, many uh, many places have long distance with the central, like in the mountain or in the east, north of Vietnam. We have some village that the people live under the human demand. Yeah, they are living with the poverty. Yeah, very poor condition there.
Yeah, of course. And do you think governments need to take measures to deal with?
Yeah, of course, government have tried many many time and tries many respect um, to have that people, but you know, because the educated status and many things that can can be can be um, yeah, it don't change much.
Yeah, of course. But you think that governments needs to take measures to deal with this issue
Yeah,
that is really important one. Well, about your answer, first, let me just, you know, maybe correct. Give you a natural way to say what you, of course, it was correct, understandable, but let me say, so you said that many places have long distance with the central, like, for example, the mountain, so like this. So long distance. So if I were you, I would say, for example, in Vietnam, in my country, many people are far from, okay, this one at the center, or for example, they live like in the mountain or the north, or for example, different areas. I don't know, I'm not sure. And we have villages, no, there are villages, okay, where people live in poverty.
Yeah.
There are villages where people live in poverty. So this is another phrase that you can replace. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, but so I think this is really important. So even in wealthy countries, there are many large number of people who live in poverty, a really bad situation. Yeah, and you say that it doesn't change, but I say it might not change.
It's my
It might not change. This one is better. Yeah, of course. But yeah, they need to take action. So, but of course they don't. Well, so we have some, as you can see, some words here that we discussed, and we have an idiom. Okay, better late than never. First, let's talk, okay, this is very common in American English and we use it, but there are some synonyms that's most commonly used synonyms. So what is that? When you say it's about time, okay, especially like when someone, or for example, government or someone finally does something that delayed, we use it. It's about time. So, for example, it's about time to, for example, take an action against and about climate change. So, this is another, it's about time. Okay. So you can use it. They're like synonyms. So better late than never. So it's a common, good one. We use it. We also have, for example, okay, they finally did something. I think it's about time. So like, finally it happened. So it's better do it. Well, can you please use it? Better late than never.
Yeah. It is late to study foreign language, but better late than never.
Yes, very good. Better late than never. So yeah, I like this one. Very good. Well, yeah. So it's really good. Great to study foreign languages. Okay. Yeah, very good. And this one. We have the use of may and might. Okay. But what's the difference between may and might? Do you have any idea? Why and what is the difference? You know that we use both of them. Sometimes they're really close, they have really close meaning, but sometimes of course they're so different. Like, maybe they can be different and they can be used in different, maybe in different, we can say, for example, sentences. But what is the difference? Do you have any idea? What is the difference? Of course, similarities, both are expressing possibilities. So we know that. But what's the difference? Do you know?
Uh, this is the structure that we almost use when we give an opinion or advice.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Look at these sentences. Since you don't like any other places, you may as well just stay at home. Okay? May as well. But I want to know, so that is like may as well, might as well. So do you know the difference between may as well and might as well?
Uh, you mean I give the example
No,
for this?
I want to know, okay, so like might as well, may as well. So what's the difference between these two? Actually, your answer was correct. So yes, like may as well, like when we want to suggest that something is acceptable, is good, okay? Or just as good, for example, is another synonym for it, okay? But let me write it here. So meaning it's just as good to do it. It's just as good to do it. That is may as well, the meaning of it, okay?
Yeah.
It seems reasonable to do this. So, for example, I don't know, as you said, I don't know, this meeting was canceled, so we may as well go home early. This is a suggestion, okay? And then we have another that is might as well. Okay, but what's the difference? I only want to give you the difference. Might as well, same meaning, but informal version of may as well. Okay, so that is the same, similar, but informal. So when talking, very similar. So you can use in informal conversation, it's better to use might as well. Okay. Yeah. So again, might as well, suggest that doing something seems reasonable. Okay. Because normally when we say might as well, because there is no other option, just this is one option, or there is no harm. Yeah. Okay. Well, and for example, movie starts in 30 minutes. We're already here, so we might as well grab a coffee, okay, while we wait. So it's really good. Okay, this one. Since you don't like any other place food, so you may as well just stay. But if I'm talking to my friend, I say might. Okay, since it's raining nonstop, we might as well stay inside this hotel. So, or we may. The traffic in Ho Chi Minh City is extremely heavy at 5 p.m. We may as well stay inside our company. So formal may, informal might. Okay. Any questions?
No, I got it.
Very good. Well, let's see what we have. Words problem. We have a video and we have time. So let's watch it together. If I have it, of course, let me see.
Yeah.
35. Okay.
Hi, today I'm talking to people about what's happening in the world and issues that concern them. What do you think are the biggest challenges facing the world today?
I think one of the biggest challenges facing the world today would be world or global poverty.
The economy and I guess the environment is the main ones that I would say.
There's loads. So poverty, global warming. I think anything that ultimately is driven by profit, probably.
I think our environmental impact is a big social issue that is facing the world at the moment, and I'm not sure that it's high enough on the agenda with politicians and globally, and it's something that we should be addressing before it's too late.
Apart from poverty, I'd say food.
I think sort of environmental pollution, terrorism's a problem, and the economy is pretty bad right now, so that's a problem too.
I would have to say maybe greed. Everyone seems to want more and more and more and never satisfied, which oftentimes leads to corruption and for the have-nots to have even less. So I think that's a big reoccurring problem today.
Well, probably one of them is energy. I think possibly nations should try and discover some sort of alternative fuel, as the fossil fuels will be running out in approximately 50 years' time.
If you could do one thing to change the world, what would it be?
Probably rectify global poverty.
stop all the wars, make everybody live in peace, in harmony.
If people chat more, then I'll be able to understand their viewpoint. Hopefully they'll understand my viewpoint. Hopefully less conflict, whether it's over poverty, whether it's over global warming, whether it's over any other physical conflict as well. So people need to chat more.
I would like to see more women in power. I'd like to see more women prime ministers, because for some reason I think that they would have a more nurturing response to things and perhaps have better ways of dealing with all sorts of world issues such as war.
Wind farms. We've got lots of wind in this country and in places like Denmark. So we could use that as a possible source of fuel.
We need to get more countries agreeing with each other because I think eventually the world's going to run out of natural resources and we have to get together to sort it out.
So getting food, medicine, or education to the world's poor, I think that would be a good idea.
I don't know, kind of have everybody live in each other's shoes sometimes. I think sometimes we kind of are quick to judge and not always know what other people are going through. So that would be a good little thing to have, to be able to switch the roles sometimes. It's not always easier on the other side.
Well, first, let me share the word and give you, wait a moment. Okay, well, here, I want to give you two words that I liked and I want you to know. The first one was rectify. The boy used rectify, okay? Means fix, to correct something. You can rectify a problem, you can rectify an error. So the meaning of this means to correct something, to fix it. So I would like to rectify poverty, to correct, to fix.
Yes.
So this is the first one. And the girl said, what is really, actually, I would like to say women's just prominence. So what is the meaning of prominence? That is actually, the meaning of it is like the importance or visibility of women in different fields of society. So the importance or visibility of women in different or maybe specific fields, that is really important, of society. So let me ask you, according to the video and the people, so tell me about the problems, maybe the most important problems that people face in the world from the beginning. Do you remember?
Yeah. They talk about the well occupities and the property overwhelming
Poverty,
and,
of course.
And the lack of food. Yeah.
Of course.
And, pollution.
Yeah.
And people seem to be want more and more. They never satisfied about many things.
Yeah, greed, of course. They're not satisfied with anything, so they're greedy. And of course, it leads to corruption. Well, so if you remember, can you match the people with the problems here? So who said, of course, if you need, you can watch, you can have it, but yeah. The environment, so this one, the environment.
Yeah.
Who said?
Yeah.
The old woman, I remember.
Environment. Number 6.
6, food.
Yeah.
So, it was Eddie, I remember.
Eddie said about food.
Yeah, of course. Food, of course. Okay. Who talked about the environment?
Talked about the woman power D, Rosie.
Rosie, of course. Yes, D, definitely. And
number 8, Michael said about said about the poverty.
Michael.
Michael.
Yeah. So poverty, Michael. Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Already.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Bridget. Bridget talked about global warming, environment, right?
Yeah, and to be harmony, to live harmony.
Yeah, to live in peace and harmony. Yeah, to live. Yeah.
Number 4.
4, of course. 4. Which one? I think this one said maybe. Yeah.
B.
B. I'm not sure. Maybe, but I'm not sure. I don't know. So this one talked about economy. I'm not sure about it. Maybe Hannah. I remember this one, but it's okay. Well, and Joe.
Joe, he said about poverty.
Yes. Yeah, he talked about poverty. Yeah, of course, I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I remember. And in also global warming. So poverty and global warming, both of them. Yeah, of course. And Dawn.
G. About the
more and more greed.
Greed. Yeah.
Yeah,
greed.
of course. Of course. Yeah, very good. And Malcolm.
He said about energies, alternatives for fuel.
Very good, of course. Yeah, very good. Lack of fossil fuels. Okay, very good. Perfect. And now we should listen again. So we have 4 minutes, so I don't know. So let's see. Just, whenever you feel like that you need to go, just tell me, let me know. Solve the problem of
5 minutes later. Yeah.
Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, we should watch again and number the answers in order you hear. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so let me have it here so you can see both of them. It's better, I think.
Hi. Today I'm talking to people about what's happening in the world and issues that concern them. What do you think are the biggest challenges facing the world today?
I think one of the biggest challenges facing the world today would be world or global poverty.
The economy, and I guess the environment is the main ones that I would say.
There's loads. So poverty, global warming. I think anything that ultimately is driven by profit, probably.
I think our environmental impact is a big social issue that is facing the world at the moment, and I'm not sure that it's high enough on the agenda with politicians and globally, and it's something that we should be addressing before it's too late.
Apart from poverty, I'd say food.
I think sort of environmental pollution, terrorism's a problem, and the economy's pretty bad right now, so that's a problem too.
I would have to say maybe greed. Everyone seems to want more and more and more and never satisfied, which oftentimes leads to corruption and for the have-nots to have even less. So I think that's a big reoccurring problem today.
Well, probably one of them is
probably rectify global poverty.
stop all the wars, make everybody live in peace, in harmony.
If people chat more, then I'll be able to understand their viewpoint. Hopefully they'll understand my viewpoint. Hopefully less conflict, whether it's over poverty, whether it's over global warming, whether it's over any other physical conflict as well. So people need to chat more.
I would like to see more women in power. I'd like to see more women prime ministers, because for some reason I think that they would have a more nurturing response to things and perhaps have better ways of dealing with all sorts of world issues such as war.
Wind farms. We've got lots of wind in this country and in places like Denmark. So we could use that as a possible source of fuel.
We need to get more countries agreeing with each other because I think eventually the world's going to run out of natural resources and we have to get together to sort it out.
So getting food, medicine or education to the world's poor, I think that would be a good idea.
I don't know, kind of have everybody live in each other's shoes sometimes. I think sometimes we kind of are quick to judge and not always know what other people are going through. So that would be a good little thing to have, to be able to switch the roles sometimes. It's not always easier on the other side.
Well, the first one, yes, the problem with solve the problem global poverty. The second one?
The second one that the man, he want to stop all the war.
Very good. The third one?
Yeah,
people should
chat
more.
Talk to each other.
Very good. Chat more, talk to each other. Number 4. This one.
And to do more for women.
Of course, prime ministers, prime minister means head of government.
Yeah.
So better roles. And the next one?
The next
5.
is they want to energy alternative like wind farms.
Wind farms, of course, very good. 6.
6 about food.
And save natural resources. Wind farms and save natural resources.
Yeah.
And
number 7, green. She said about the green people.
Yeah, help
so
the
we need
poor.
to help the poor. Yeah.
Of course. And the last one, of course.
One is change the place with other people.
Very good. Of course, walk in someone's shoes. Change place with all the people to actually not to judge them and to see what they think and why. Okay, well, that's it, Helen. I don't want to take your time. I know that you're busy. Okay, and you need to run. Well, so have a great week and just good luck with your meeting.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Wonderful.
Goodbye. Thank you so much. Thank you. Goodbye. You too.